Hi, YouTube. You guys say hi? Come on over here and say hello. You look. YouTube. It's been what, 10 years? I have not made videos on YouTube. I want to get back into it. I want to get into it because I never really was into it. You know, I had fun. But I started to go through things. You know, I experienced domestic violence, and then I went back to that person, and just a lot happened. Guys, I feel like I have a lot that I could share. I've always had a lot that I could share. I've always had a lot to say, and I feel like I've matured. And I feel like I'm ready to give back to the world. Like, I've always wanted to do something to help people. And through trying to go to college and all of these different avenues, I realized that the best way that I can help people is by relating to them and sharing what's on my mind and giving, you know, advice and sharing my experiences or experiences of others that I know about. Disclaimer, I'm a very honest person. You know, I'm not against anything or anyone in the world. I believe in loving everyone and loving everything, but the truth is the truth. Just because I don't agree with something or just because I express the truth of something does not mean I don't care for that person, that whatever, because I do. It's just that I'm honest. And you can't save the world lying to people. You feel me? You can't save yourself lying to yourself. So it's very important to be honest, and I am very honest. And people love me and hate me for my honesty. They love me because I keep it real. They hate me because I keep it real with them too. But I'm going to get back into making these videos every day. And let's see what happens. Let's see if I can build, you know, some subscribers, some people who are interested in my perception of the world. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanna fuck him, I never love him, I cuff him, and when we done, I'ma duck him. He's Ferragamo, the buckle, he Louis V on the duffel, the pussy better than puddles, I ride his dick like a shuttle. I said, real niggas let real bitches come first, and real niggas think bad bitches from birth. I fucked up the word. Oh well. More money last year than Mr. Drummond. Go Cubby, go Rhea, eating they free candy. Why I don't get? Well, I did get free stuff. Hi YouTube. I think we're ready. I fed my babes, gave them a bath, run down a couple of sentences. Like, I'm not even about to write no notes. I'm just about to go off the dome like they do in the wilds. No, just kidding. So. No. This is Jacob and J-Ree. Today's first lesson, you don't have to just deal with the babies, like, deal with it. But today's first lesson is going to be self-love, self-awareness. I think it's very important to understand exactly what self-love and having self-awareness is. Self-love. Simple. Love of oneself. But I don't think too many people grasp this concept. Like, you can't have... I don't believe it's possible to love anyone more than you love yourself. I know some people act like, you know, they love people that they're in a relationship with more than they love themselves. You know, maybe people feel like they love their children more than they love themselves. But I don't believe it. I feel like everything that we do it because we like what we get from it. Whether it's a sense of accomplishment, whether we're being praised, whether we're getting attention, whether we just like being able to say, I sacrificed this for that person for 50 years. Like, at that point, I'm looking at you like 50 years, they wasn't shit, and you continue. Okay. But there's something we're getting out of it. And that is the reason why we're doing what we're doing, because of whatever it is we're getting out of it. And if we weren't getting that out of it, we probably wouldn't do it, which is a reflection of us caring about ourselves, caring about our feelings, and care is another form of love. But just like there's positive self-love, I think there's negative self-love as well. Like when you love to be the victim, when you allow yourself to be hurt so that you can complain and cry and, say that you were a bigger person. There's so many issues that we have as people that this video is not going to be enough for me to get it out there. But let's focus on positive self-love. And that means wanting the best for yourself. For yourself. And sometimes you have to leave a situation because it's not what's best for you. It may be convenient, comfortable, and wonderful to someone else, but it's breaking you down. You. And what are they going to do if you're broken down? Wrong. What are you going to do if you're broken down? You feel me? Like at the end of the day, you have to be to yourself what you would like someone else to be. You can't expect someone else to love and care for you if you don't love and care for yourself. And that's something that I learned the hard way. Like, I didn't understand why my kids and my kids' dad, are you really feeling on camera? He breastfeeds. Was really treating me like I didn't matter, treating me like I wasn't important. And I realized it was because I treated myself like that. I always put their needs before mine. I always put their wants before mine. I always settled for whatever was left over, for whatever, and took care of them first. So they were just doing what I was doing. So I had to your children are a reflection of you. Anyway, you have to be to yourself what you would like other people to be to you. And you have to be what you want the world to be, period. You want it to be more kindness, more love, more consideration in the world. You have to be more kind. You have to have more love. You have to have more consideration in the world. It literally starts with you. You can't just be an evil bitch and then complain when someone else is an evil bitch. It comes full circle. And self-love, truly loving yourself, is letting go of hurt, is letting go of pain, and it is hard. But being sad and crying all the time and being depressed and negative isn't doing anything but hurting yourself. And I know that in the world that we live in, we feel like depression is a mental disorder. I don't feel like that. I'm sorry. I feel like depression is an emotion like any other emotion. Being sad, mad, happy, angry. And I honestly feel like with practice, with time, with commitment, with dedication, you can grow out of it. You can get yourself out of it. I don't believe in medication. If I do finish my psychology degree and become a therapist or psychologist, I would not recommend medication unless it's an extreme case. But I really feel like you have to teach yourself. And a lot of our parents dropped the ball on us when we were a kid. They basically kept us alive and made the situation more convenient for them. Children are to be seen, not heard. Go play, go play, go play. Let kids be kids. And they didn't really install what we needed, the tools that we needed to handle certain emotions, to handle certain situations, to handle certain things that we come across as adults. And then when we became of age, they pushed us out into the world and expected us to be able to conduct ourselves like the mentally stable adults. And the majority of us are fucked up. Everything that I've learned, to help myself deal with pain, to help myself move forward, to help build myself, I learned it as an adult. Now, I'm not going to pretend like some of it didn't come from the trauma that I experienced as a child, because it did. And I was able to motivate myself to look forward to getting out of that situation. But when I was turning 30 years old, I realized I was in the same situation. I had to bear with me with this video. But as I was saying, I realized around my 30th birthday that I was still in the same abusive environment that I was in as a child. But the difference was, when I was a child, I had something to look forward to. And that was becoming an adult. That was going to college. That was creating my own environment, my own household, having my own children, and living a better life. But here I am in a relationship that's making me feel exactly how I felt as a child. But what am I waiting for? There was no excuse for me to still be in that situation. There was no excuse. And the circumstances was a little sticky, but I had to figure out how to get myself out of it. Now, the next topic that we're talking about, self-awareness. By me not being completely self-aware, even though I got out of that relationship, I fumbled right into another one, almost identical, but I married this person. Now, self-awareness, being aware of oneself. Now, the world is trash. There are trash-ass people in the world. It's unavoidable. We cannot change it. It is what it is. But what we can do is be aware of ourselves, our feelings, and the decisions that we make so that we can navigate through these trash-ass people. Now, like I said, I wasn't as self-aware, of myself to take responsibility for my part that I played in the abusive situation I was in. Now, no way, shape, or form am I taking responsibility at all for what anyone has ever done to me. What I'm doing is realizing my actions that may have opened the door to allow this person to come in and do this shit to me. Like, say, for example, you know a dude is trash. You know he's garbage. But one day you lonely, you done took a couple of drinks, you done made up in your mind the rules and what's going to happen and what's not going to happen. And you invite this trash ass person that you already know is trash over. Now you've been drinking, they being the trash ass self, and shit don't go the way that you expected it to go. At the end of the day, you have to take responsibility for that. Because you knew they were trash and you still allowed them to come for whatever reason. And being self-aware is how you figure out the reason. Because you were lonely. Because you were this. So now you have to figure out something to do to occupy your time to where you're not lonely. An activity, drawing, coloring, something, until you can find someone that's worthy of your time, that's going to be willing to meet you somewhere public, take you out on a date or whatever. This keeps you protected. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all about being self-aware. So you can avoid as much bullshit as possible. Because the world is trash and it's not your fault. Guys, girls, it's not your fault. But you just have to better protect yourself. Like, there's a story from this trashers movie. But it's a good story. She was like, there's a scorpion. I'm going to change it to make it make more sense. It's a scorpion floating on a log about to sink in the middle of a lake. A frog sees him, swims up to him and says, hey, I'll let you get on my back and I will swim you to shore if you promise not to sting me. The scorpion is like, oh no, I promise I'm not going to sting you. Thank you. The scorpion climbs on his back. As the frog swims, he gets almost to shore. The scorpion stings him. Right as they sink, the frog says, why did you sting me? Now we're both going to die. The frog says, I know, but it's in my nature. When you see a scorpion, leave that motherfucker alone. Like, the type of person that I've always been, I want to see the good in people. Maybe I can help you be better. Maybe we can build together and I can bring out your inner good, and then the motherfucker sting me and now we're both dead. That goes into the self-love. I guess I loved feeling like I was doing something good when all I was doing was hurting myself. Now, I'm not saying don't be there for people. I'm not saying don't be kind, don't care for people. I'm saying, one, don't invest all of your emotions into it. And two, allow a person to show you that they are worthy of you, that they are worthy of your help. You know, I've let people stay with me before because I've been in a situation wishing someone would let me stay with them. Well, they didn't act like how I would have acted. They did not act like how I would have acted. They weren't as appreciative as I would have been appreciative. They were not me. And then when I think back of what I knew about them and how they lived their day-to-day life, of course. They've been alive 20-something plus years and been doing this same shit. But now all of a sudden, I think if they come into my home with my children, while they don't even have their children, they're going to be different. Like, we have to listen to the signs. And we have to stop allowing people to manipulate us into believing that if we don't do what they want us to do, we don't care for them. No. We have to do what we need to do to care for ourselves, to love ourselves, to protect ourselves, to protect our children. Because at the end of the day, the majority of the people are out for them. They don't give a fuck how it hurts you, or how it affects you, or how it makes you feel, or how it damages you for the next situation. They're happy they were able to milk it as much as they can milk it. Now they on to the next motherfucker trying to milk it. Don't allow yourself to be milked. Develop a hard exterior, but still be soft in the inside. So when the right people come along, you still have that goodness in you. A lot of people become hard all the way through, and that's not good. But you have to toughen yourself up. It's important to protect yourself because we need you here. I used to pray to God to take away my compassion, to take away my empathy. If you want me to deal with bullshit ass people, okay, God, just please help me not to care. But if I didn't care, I wouldn't deal with bullshit ass people. If I didn't care, I wouldn't donate. If I didn't care, I wouldn't give back. So the caring is not the problem. It's just giving your shit and yourself so freely. That's the problem. You have to make sure it's the right situation, and you have to trust yourself. Trust your heart, trust your gut, and don't allow anyone to guilt you into doing anything. I think that's it for today. Like, if anyone have any questions or comments or concern, put that in the bottom. Video 1. I am very happy. You know, I appreciate each and every person that watched, regardless of if you're watching today, which is October 14th, 2019, or 10 years from now. I really hope I can share my experiences and help enlighten someone. I may not be able to prevent you from going through things, but I can definitely help you deal with it and give you the tools that you need to build yourself up and to stay strong regardless of what happens to you. Shit is always going to happen. It is always going to happen. And true love is unconditional. I love you because you're alive. I love you because you're a creation of God. And I may not fuck with you one day, but there's nothing that you can ever do to make me not love you. Understand the difference. Love is unconditional, meaning I will always wish the best for you. I will always hope the best for you. Even if I have to cuss you out, I still love you. Don't take advantage of this kind of true love. And try to be the type of person that deserves unconditional love, even though you'll always get it from me, no matter what. Later, alligators.